Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Definitely this is biology going to be easy subject for you. And friends, you know that how it is that the animals and plants go on to grow. They go on to produce new individuals, new offsprings, the first filial from parents. So there are different methods, there are different conditions, there are different ways the plants and animals grow. The normal process of growing, of making another offspring, which is the life cycle of individual, that's called reproduction. So that can be asexual, sexual. But do you know there are some deflected pathways, some abnormal pathways, some pathways which are not natural, known in plants as well as in animal kingdom. So many processes, as we know, as we study biology, as we study the different aspects of the biosciences, the natural processes, the things which happen in the world, different parts of the universe, whether it's earth, on the deep bottom of sea, oceans, on reefs, coral reefs in fact. So you will go on to find different kinds of reproductions which are not normal, but they are some kind like auxiliary or augmenting type of processes. One of the process, one of the pathway, one of the way the individuals go on to get formed from the simple egg is the process, is the phenomena which is called apomixis or parthenogenesis. Hello and welcome to this. Our topic is parthenogenesis. This is stated by Bonnet a long time ago in 18th century that some eggs go on to form individuals without involving the process of fertilization. Such a phenomenon was a big discovery for the scientists who are dealing with plant and animals. So today's topic is parthenogenesis. So let's have a short video on this parthenogenesis, which is also called apomixis. So let's go. So the topic is parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis, which is also called apomixis. So this is not normal mixes, this is apomixis. Now what is this apomixis is actually? This is actually a development of individual. So this is development of individual, okay. So this is development of individual from single gamete, and it is generally known the gamete is ovum or is egg, meaning the females play more part in parthenogenesis than males because of their tendency. So this is ovum or egg without involving, or we can say without involving the process of fertilization. Without involving fertilization. Okay. Now this was a big discovery for a scientist, for a man who first proposed this was Bonnet. So it's very important to know that this scientist claimed this in 1745 AD. So it's long back ago. What he did is that he found that if there is an animal, aphids eggs were there. He experimented with these eggs and found that these eggs directly produce adult. This egg produces adult, living adult, but it did not involve the process of fertilization. So the simply egg gets developed into adult. It can be haploid or at that time it was diploid, but there was no process of fertilization, meaning though no combination of two gametes from either side occur, simply a single gamete go on to form new individual. This process, which is called parthenogenesis apomixis, is of great importance. It can be for biologists for study, it can be for industrialists for knowing the shortest life cycle of economically important animal or insect. Now, as you know that there are many things based on different characters or class, different parameters. We have types of apomixis that could be like this. So we have types of apomixis. First is on the basis of chromosome set. So on the basis of chromosome set, we have two types of apomixis. One is called erhinotoki, or this is important, or we can say male or haploid male or haploid parthenogenesis. Haploid parthenogenesis. What happens here is that simply the male, which is one in one set and which is haploid, in fact it is haploid, the sperm, what is there, the cell is male, it where from it comes, there's a cell which has single set of chromosomes, that is 22 plus 1, 23. The 23 set is present, another 23 set is absent, so that means it is haploid 1n. It will go on to form individual, which is also 1n, having single set of chromosomes. This is called male or haploid parthenogenesis because these individuals are mostly males. Now, as you know, like in case of honeybees, but here we are putting example of some insect. So it occurs in arachnida and some insects. Okay, arachnida, some insects, arachnids and some insects. Now another is the second part is, this is erhinotoki, second part is thelotoki. This is thelotoki. Now what is this thelotoki? This is, as you know from here, this is female or diploid parthenogenesis. This is female, or we can say diploid. So diploid parthenogenesis. That means the set, this is 2n egg, it goes on to form, or whatever cell it is, it goes on to form 2n individual, which is mostly female. The individual becomes female. So these 2n diploid set, having these cells are having diploid set of chromosomes, this means they have double set of chromosomes, that is 46, 22 autosomes plus 1 sex chromosome, and this set, if it is in the 2, that means 2n set is present in these individuals, and these are generally females, so that's why it's called diploid or female parthenogenesis. So this was one basis, that on basis of chromosome set we have two types of series, one set of chromosome, here we have two set of chromosome in future adult, and that's why on the basis of chromosomes we had two sets. Now this occurs in gallflies, you know, gallfly, it occurs in them, examples that. Now we have second basis of classification of this parthenogenesis. This was on the basis of chromosome set. We have second on the basis of induction, whether it's a natural or it's artificial. So on the basis of occurrence we have another type of classification, and that is natural parthenogenesis. So definitely natural means it is there in nature. We are not going to induce it. We are not going to artificially do any something with this. It is already there in nature, inside it. Before studying the same subject of human beings, it was already there for centuries ago, for crores of years. The evolution of insects, if we take that into consideration, so that means natural. Again, natural it has two types. It has two subtypes. We can say it has two subtypes. One is obligatory means compulsory, obligatory, or this is called complete, actually complete, obligatory or complete parthenogenesis. What is here important is that male is absent in these species, in these populations or communities. Male is absent, so that means without thinking the egg has to become female. So this is obligatory or it is complete. We have example. So we have example of rotiferous. So there is a animal class rotifer. We have some lizards. There is one lizard. So we have some lizards. There is called Typhlina. Typhlina lizard is there. There is a small lizard, Typhlina. We have another example, this Caucasian rock lizard, Lacerta sexicola. We have another whip-tailed lizard, that's called Nematophorus. So Nematophorus is another example. This is one. So we have Nematophorus, we have Typhlina, we have Lacerta. These are some lizard types where this is present. Obligatory, complete. Male is absent, female is there, means whatever cell is that, if it is going to become individual or adult without fertilization, naturally it is becoming female. It is not becoming male because males are absent. That's why it's called obligatory or complete. We have another one more type of this natural parthenogenesis. Second type, that definitely will be, that is cyclic or incomplete. Cyclic or incomplete, meaning male, female both are present, but sometimes if we take why it is called cyclic, some generations, in some cases there are some parthenogenetic generations, then they form gametes which are involved in sexual reproduction. Means parthenogenetic generation is followed by reproductive generation. Again, parthenogenesis occurs in next after few generations. So that means it is cyclic. It's alternate between sexual generation and parthenogenetic generation. If it is also called incomplete because in many animals or insects, we can say honeybees, we have both male and females. In some individuals, parthenogenesis occurs, and in the rest of the individuals, sexual reproduction occurs. In honeybees, you see females are developed normally through sexual reproduction, through fertilization of male female egg combining together, fertilization. And but drones or males in honeybees, they go on to get formed from haploid male gamete. They are becoming drones. They are not complete. They have single set. They are haploid, so they do not occur. There is the occurrence of fertilization again is absent in males. So males form or getting formed parthenogenetically, but females are formed through normal sexual reproduction. This is what's called incomplete in case of honeybees and many ants, wasps, even gallflies. So we have, this is called cyclic or incomplete. Here we have both sexual and parthenogenetic individual, both sexual plus parthenogenetic genetic individuals occur in this case. But you see, example in aphid, in aphid example, there is a parthenogenetic generation. So there are some generations which go on to get formed through parthenogenesis. It is then there is sexual generation. So this alternate between parthenogenetic generation and sexual generation. In turkey, it has been observed, studied, that 40% of males develop parthenogenetically in Turkey. In case of bees, what happens actually? There is an egg. This is laid by female or queen. Queen lays eggs. Definitely one an egg. And male, which is haploid, it also gives one in sperm, like this. Now this go on to get fertilized. Some eggs are go on to get fertilized. They form 2n zygote. So this is 2n zygote, and some male gametes go on to form individuals directly. So this is adult. Now this adult is drone or male honeybee. This is male honeybee. These zygotes, so there are many zygotes. Now competition occurs between the zygotes. Food is given to each zygote. One of the zygote gets more food. It go on to get formed into what's called queen bee. These all are changed to workers of different kind with different mouth part, different structures. So there's a division of labor. This honeybee, this queen bee, again goes on to lay eggs. So this is sexual generation. This is parthenogenetic generation. Okay, this happens in honeybees. Same case is that is little different. Wasps. It occurs in wasps. It occurs in ants also, as you know, in ants also. But one interesting case, in case of gall fly, there is a one interesting case in case of gall fly, which is also part of this incomplete parthenogenesis. In gall fly, this gall fly, it is larvae. Suppose this is larvae of gall fly. What it did is that this larvae, it lays some eggs. It lays eggs. These eggs get parthenogenetically developed into adults. So it is interesting. The larvae is itself not developed or through the process of metamorphosis. It is even without entering metamorphosis or becoming adult, the larvae lays eggs. Eggs go on to form individuals, that means adults. Now the thing is that the egg is laid by larvae, not by any adult. Such a process where larvae goes on to get involved in the process of reproduction is called parthenogenesis. So this process, larvae laying eggs, those are forming adults. So in any way where there is a larvae laying eggs or larvae getting involved in this process of reproduction, this is called parthenogenesis. Even in case of amphibians we have mutiny. So that's a different topic. Now this is parthenogenesis. Fine. Now we have second part of this natural, we have second, that is artificial. As you know, artificial means the parthenogenesis is not there in particular population, particular species. It's not naturally there, it's not naturally occurring, but we are inducing it through some agents, through some phenomena, through some physical or chemical processes. So second is artificial. With the help of sugar, salt, alkaloid, and other chemicals, plus heat, cold, that means temperature phenomena, even pricking of eggs, and other stimuli. Two eggs, they go on to get through the process of cleavage form adult. So this is induced or artificial parthenogenesis. So we have sugar, salt, alkaloid, or other chemicals, and we have then heat, cold, pricking, or other stimuli which cause eggs to break, get involved in the process of cleavage, then form adult. Now this kind of a process was once upon, there was a scientist called Pincus. It was Pincus, and the year 1936, what he did is that in case of rabbit, he gave rabbit eggs, he put rabbit eggs, give them temperature treatment plus chemical and temperature treatments to eggs which were haploid, and they go on to get parthenogenetically, they produce adults. They entered into the process of parthenogenesis, produce adults, but since adults were haploid, they died. So they were 1N single set haploid, they could not survive, so they died. But what he inferred from the same phenomenon is that we can induce parthenogenesis in any individual, in any egg. So eggs have the property to get involved in parthenogenesis, get involved in the process of cleavage and form individuals. Now friends, this is very important. Parthenogenesis, apomixis phenomena has got the advantage in case of some economies where we want to reduce the life cycle of insect or that animal which is used in production of some important material. Like we have silkworm, we have honeybees, we have some termites, we have some other individuals. It is a phenomenon, it is a study of phenomenon of interest where we can put some knowledge, some technique to get economic benefit out of this cycle. Hope you understand, you got to know about the process of parthenogenesis, apomixis, and I want to close this topic here with hope that we will meet again. Till then, goodbye.